Okay, well here's the update, just a quick update of what went on earlier today. I did remove all the baby, well probably not all, there's probably still a handful or so of the B. lateralis, the red runner nymphs. There's probably roughly 40 or so odds and ends of them in here, and then a ton of egg cases. Some of these are going to get fed off tonight, which I don't film. The small spiders are just too hard. They're too quick, the enclosures are too small. I'll give it a shot, see what I can do. And so I got all those taken care of. I haven't touched my dubia colony. Still waiting for that to, there was a ton of babies, but I need more adults, so I'm kind of laying off on using those as best as I can, because I only had a few adults left, a bunch of juveniles, but not a lot of adults. So that's that. And real quick, while I'm here, here is the Heterothele villicella enclosure, softball enclosure. As you can see, the spider right there at the base of the antlers, and there is a cricket right there. She tagged that cricket, but she's not eating it, so I don't know if she tagged it just because she's trying to get settled in here. As most of you know, I try my best to feed them once I rehouse them. I don't do it like boom right away, but you know, an hour later I try to give them something if they're ready to eat. Some spiders I rehouse and they're not on a schedule to be fed anyway, so I just let them be. But yeah, I've heard this rumor, and again, it's more of a rumor than it is anything. I don't think it's actually fact-based, but a lot of people believe that when you rehouse a spider, they go into molt relatively quickly. I think, to me, it's a coincidence. I don't know what would trigger them to molt by just rehousing them, but when I rehoused the Brachypelma, well, no, she molted in her other enclosure. There was a tarantula that I put into an enclosure and it molted right. Oh, the Hapalopus species Columbia large. I put that one in, and within 3 days it molted. So I think it was a coincidence, but who knows? So yeah, this is just a add-on update. We'll throw a few more things in with this video, so it's not just, you know, a picture of roaches and a Heterothele villicella that you really can't see, that's just sitting there doing nothing. I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video. I know I mentioned it, but then I deleted a video because it didn't turn out the way I wanted it. But one of the Brachypelma vagans slings passed away, and one of the Ceratojarus darlingi slings passed away. So we're down 2 of those, but one of the Brachypelma vagans, not one of the 5 that came to me from my mail, but one of the other ones, the middle-sized one out of the 6 that I have left, molted a few days back. So I'll show you guys that one, and it probably is ready to eat. So it's been like 6 days, and it's a small sling, so it should be ready to eat. So we might go ahead and try and throw a quick feed of that one in there and see what happens. But I'm trying to get out of these deli cups and into the softball enclosures. I like them a lot better. You can fill them up with dirt quite a ways if need be, so that you give the slings a little bit of substrate to dig in, and they're clear. So I have one left. I think I mentioned this in the first video. There'll be one opening up because the GBB will move out, Arkham will move out of that into Denver's old enclosure, give it plenty of room to do whatever it is that it wants to do. And what will end up moving into that one will be the biggest of the 3 Ephebopus murinus. And then I have one left for I have the pulchra, I have a porteri, I have a rosea, I have a vagans, and I have a Plesiopelma species Bolivia. I didn't say that, did I? No. And then I have the 2 spiders coming in from Ruth, which would be the the Phonopelma moderatum and the Brachypelma classy are both 1 inch. So those can either go into a baseball cube or into the softball cubes. And then I have the Ornithoctene species Laos coming in, which I'm probably going to put into a softball container right away. I think that one's right around a 3/4 inch to 1 inch sling. It's a semi-arboreal that will burrow as a sling, so I want to give it one of these, I saved one of these antlers for it to use as something to climb on and web on. And the enclosure is going to be set up a little bit similar to this, except for on one side it's going to be much deeper substrate, and on it'll slope down, and it'll slope down on the opposite side that I put, if I decide to put wood on the back side like I've been doing, like I have on this one, a piece of bark that I glued to the back. So yeah, we have those, and I'll show you a couple other things. Again, this is just like an update, a little bit of information, and maybe something that'll help a few of you guys with some hard to catch spiders and a way to sex molts a little bit easier. Okay, so my desk is kind of clean. That's because everything is on the other table over there. What you see here is a 1.25 liter soda enclosure, or soda can, jar, bottle, I guess. Not jar. Where the hell did jar come from? Anyway, it's a bottle. I got this the other day. It was $1, so it had Dr. Pepper in it, which we drank. And I cut the bottom off, as you can see here. I cut it with a knife, and then I tried to trim it as level as possible with the scissors. Now you could see how tall. These are 10-inch tongs. So roughly where I cut it to the lid is 10 inches tall. I will put a hole in the top, not a big one, just enough to fit the manipulator in. And then when I go to catch her over there in the corner, Miss Regalis, this is what I'm going to use. So I'll slowly remove the stuff out of her enclosure. Hopefully she'll be somewhere that I can put this kind of over top of her. Doesn't freak her out to the point where she flies out of the enclosure. I'm going to do it in an enclosure, in an enclosure, in an enclosure. So there'll be one big tub, then a smaller tub, and then that tub. So if she does come out, she'll go down, hopefully into the other one and kind of stick in that area. Probably going to be a tub packing, trying to get her out of there. But this also is, if you look at a deli cup, once you put the padding in a deli cup to ship them, this kind of will be like right over top of it. So I'll be able to manipulate her down into that deli cup, into the packing, and then slowly kind of just tilt it and put the top packing onto it, put it back down, fix it on this side, and then put the lid with the lid packing on, and then close her up. So that was one thing that I thought would be helpful to you guys. A lot of people use Gatorade bottles or just regular water bottles, or we had Dr. Pepper, just a regular 16-ounce bottle. I also picked up this. I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and what I will do with this is that at the beginning of each month I will put things on here that I'm going to try and accomplish during that month with the spiders themselves, so you'll have an idea of what's coming up and what you can look forward to. Of course, we'll have the question of the week. I write really small because I have a very long last name. I learned how to write very small when I was a small young kid. So sometimes it'll be hard to read, but I think you can read everything that's on there. And I just kind of, abbreviated things like, why did I put G-pulk? G-pulk, that should be, oh, P-pulkers are down there. Maybe I forgot to feed somebody. Apparently I did, huh? Yeah, I did. I didn't think either one of them was ready yet. I don't know why I wrote that. Anyway, you can see all the spiders. Most of those spiders were in the first video. Okay, the balfouri actually did eat the solo one. I was really happy with that because it's been a long time since I've seen that one actually eat anything. But and the Soritoma actually came up and grabbed the cricket that's in there too. So everybody I fed earlier did finally eat. So we have that, and then one last thing I want to show you, which I've been trying to figure out a way to do this for a while, and I finally figured it out. And it was kind of by accident that I figured it out, really, because we were at Walmart, and my wife was looking for some stuff with, I don't remember if it was my daughter or my son. I think it was my son, one of the twins, though. I have twins, a boy and a girl. So Eric, my youngest son, I think he was the one that was there. So anyway, we were going around, and they were looking at stuff, and I was just browsing, and I went through the tool area. I wasn't really looking for tools, I just happened to be in that area, and I found a flashlight, okay, and it's flat, and I'll show you. Okay, this is the flashlight that I picked up. It's an LED, and you have the light there, and then you have the light there, see, real bright. Okay, so I always tell people when they have problems, when they take pictures of molts and they put them on Facebook, especially, Facebook kills your photos, and if you can't focus on the molt, you know, spread out, even if you spread it out perfect, if you can't focus on it and you're trying to top shine light on it, you may not see the stuff that's actually there. Okay, what I have on this styrofoam, and if you look, styrofoam is just styrofoam. I picked it up, I grabbed it at work. It was just stuff that came in a packing container with a light that I had to install. So I grabbed this. It was twice as thick as this, so you could see that's 1, 2, 3 ply of this stuff. I tried to trim it down even as best as possible. I didn't get it perfect, as you can see. But what I did was I drew a circle, or the oval, and it fits this light in perfectly. Okay, so when you flip it over, let me turn the light on first, that would probably help, right? When you flip it over and you stick it inside, you can see the stuff in this mold just right there without even me homing in. So let me turn it around so we're facing the right way. I need to bury that a little bit deeper in too, because it's sticking out a little bit, but it's a work in progress. Now you can see stuff now. If I turn this light off, and I'll show you the comparison. Okay, so this is no light underneath. Now you could see the 2 marks there. I'm not even really positive what those 2 marks are, because I don't think this is a film. This is the Chilobrachys huahini, molted 2 days ago. Finally, thing hasn't eaten in forever, over 100 days. That thing hasn't eaten. So you could see this is the pictures that we get on the club, or on the groups, and say, okay, can you sex my spider? And you'll get a bunch of people that'll just say, oh, it looks female, oh, it looks male. They have no idea what they're looking at. So I always say, can you shine a light from underneath with like a paper towel underneath the molt or whatever, with a flashlight shining up, and retake the picture? You know, focus it and enlarge it as best that you can, so it's as clear a picture as you possibly can get, and then resubmit the picture. And you'd be surprised what happens when people are saying, oh, it's male, oh, it's male, oh, it's male, and then boom, we put this light underneath, and you're seeing things that you didn't see before. Okay, now those are not female parts that you're seeing right there. I think that's actually just skin. You should see in that spot there the actually right where that pin is, this left pin or right pin, this one here. That's about where the book lungs. See, you can see the dark spots on top where the book lungs are. You see that spot right, that crease. Let's see if I can focus for you. That crease right there. Okay, now, we didn't see that without the light underneath it. It's no different than like a backlight microscope. You know, when you want to see something, you don't want to shine light down on it. You want to shine light up from underneath it. And that's how a microscope works, is the light's underneath the glass, or the specimen vial, or glass, or whatever they call those things. So this here, I'm not 100% sure what we have. I don't feel a flap when I run the pin over there, but again, for a long time I struggled with the Semmelpaeus pulcher, thinking that Salem was a male, and she actually turned out to be a female. So this is suspected male until I get another molt from it, which I think it's actually only the third time it's molted, and it actually doesn't look very much. It didn't look like it gained size. It did change a little bit in the color. So it's got some darker legs. Oh, matter of fact, I could probably show it to you. It's got some darker legs, and the body's not as tan as it was before. So I thought this would be interesting. This flashlight was like $2. I think it was $1.98 or $2.98, one of there. So it was no more than $3. And I'm not even really quite sure what kind of battery it uses. I think you just unscrew right there, and the battery's probably underneath that. Probably a AAA would be my guess. And it also has a magnet on it. So if you have something metal, like the dry erase board, you can put it on there. Now that's not metal enough to keep it up, but you get my point. So I thought that would be interesting for some of you guys to try out your own way of doing this. But if you're going to, again, here you go, you cannot see that spot that we were seeing with the light underneath it. You just can't. It's just too small. So your smaller specimens, even your bigger ones that are obvious, if you want to get a real good picture, backlight it. That's the best way to do it, is backlight it. So I hope that that information helped a few of you be able to maybe possibly sex your molts a little bit easier, or at least get good pictures of them to submit on the groups on Facebook or on arachnoboards on the internet. There are a lot of great people on arachnoboards. I think it's a great site. There are a lot of very intelligent people that don't know how to talk to everyday normal people. That's my problem with that site, is the comeuppance of certain people that believe that everybody knows everything because they do, or at least they believe they do. And you get some people that are not very nice. It's a huge site, huge site. Again, if you find the right people and learn how to ignore the idiots and the know-it-alls and the I'm better than yous, that's really where you want to be. Because doing this type of hobby, there are a lot of people that took entomology. There are a lot of people that believe that because they can click Google and they see a picture of a spider, that they can ID anything, and 90% of the time they're wrong. Spider ID is very difficult with certain species. Canthoscuria, Lasiodora, there's a bunch of them that it's really hard, Pamphobedius, to nail down, you know, the correct species. So real quick, I'll show you the Huahine, because he is right there. You can see the change in the color. The abdomen has got dark, the carapace is lightened up, and the legs have darkened out. So with that said, that one hopefully will give us a video soon. It's been in this spot for a while, since it molted. Actually, it molted there. It did move, so I know it's okay, and we're going to douse that enclosure tonight. That'll be fun, because it really doesn't like when I do it. And that's going to be it for this update video and information. And the next video will be the tea spotlight of one, two, three, four. The 4 balfouris. Alright, have a good night, and we'll see everybody later. Okay, well, I'm just going to add this into the update. I was going to do the tea spotlight, and I was going to do it on the Monocentropas balfouri communal, but I started the video. We're about 3 to 4 minutes in it, and my wife didn't know I was videoing, and she came in with a message on the machine, and I wasn't quite paying attention to what they did. I had stopped the video, of course. And then when I started it back up, everybody was still in the same situation that they were in before, but I don't know if the one spider actually came out and got anything. Now you can see the feet of the spider there in that little web funnel, just on the other side of where the crickets are right now. That one's come up and down a few times. There are 4 in here, 2 in the back, and like that cricket, I don't know what it did, it almost like had a heart attack or something. It was like moving around, and now it's upside down. I didn't know if anybody strike from the back. I will go back there and take a look. There is movement in the web, but there was another cricket back there. So it's quite possible that, yeah, very, very possible that the one that was in that funnel tube came out, got it on the other side. So let me, there are 3 of them back here, and no cricket. So the cricket that was there was attacked by that little one that's inside that hole. The actual hole goes down, and then it goes, there's a tunnel underneath that goes this way and back through the back side. So I don't know what's going on with that cricket. If it just got the crap scared out of it, maybe it did. That would kind of be funny, huh? So we're just going to put this on the end of, won't be the end, there'll be one more update that I'm going to do. We'll add this onto the update, and then we'll do a different tarantula spotlight video sometime this week. Maybe I will do it on one of the new ones that's coming in. But I'll turn you around so you can see, you know, 1, 2, 3, and back in this hole here, that's the hole that goes forward. Oh, he didn't get the cricket, because there it is right there, and the other one's actually moving now. And we do have some movement again in this hole. That hole right there. Sorry for the glare. Again, the top is only on because of the crickets, actually, not so much the not so much worried that these guys are going to take off on me. But I thrown 5 crickets in there, and one jumped out right away, so I don't want the other ones to jump out. So we actually don't have one that's attacked prey yet. They have fed once already. I threw 4 crickets in about 6 days ago. They all were gone. I can't tell you if they all ate, or if one ate all 4, or if they shared them, or what they did. But the one that's in the back here, the little one, the one that's right there, that one doesn't really go anywhere other than there. It seems to like that position, likes that spot, and the one that's below it tends to hang out in that little dugout area most of the time also. So we're going to keep trying every 5 or 6 days to feed these guys. We'll try different things. I don't want to put worms in here, only because I don't want them digging. We'll try keep feeding them either these small crickets, or maybe some dubia, or some belats, the smaller ones, and see if we can't eventually get a feeding video. I'm sure sooner or later we're going to get to see them eat. They are very secretive spiders. They more active in the dark, and they're supposed to be better together than they are separate. So we'll see how these ones grow versus the one I have by itself. The one I have by itself is probably twice the size of these ones. So maybe a little over 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches maybe. That was on the feeding video earlier, but we didn't get to see it eat, but it did eat. So That was kind of a relief because I haven't seen that one eat in a long time either. So you see the one creeping here. In the corner. The crickets have kind of worked their way down and they're up front now. So we'll stop here and I'll put them away, and I will bring down the Brachypelma vagans that molted. We'll try and feed that one a small cricket and take the molt out. It's been in there. I haven't moved it. I'll take the molt out and you guys can get a look at that one. And then we'll end this update, upload this tonight, and next video will be hopefully a tea spotlight or an unboxing, one or the other. Probably, maybe even both. Okay, well, let's get the bee vagans down. Okay, so here is, this is the enclosure for the Brachypelma vagans. Right now, number 2, unnamed. Here's the molt. We'll pull that out. And the spider is right down there. Underneath that little spot, we'll throw this cricket in, see if it entices it to come out. It kind of startled it when I took the lid off. There we go. There we are. So we were definitely hungry. Definitely popped it good. It's a good takedown, good strike. And there we are. Starting to finally get some reddish hairs on the abdomen. It's a lovely black velvety legs. Okay, so that's it for the updates for today. I have yet to do the pairings of the Cereocosmus Bertae or the Aphonopelma chalcodes. I have to have the right amount of time to do it, and I couldn't. We were going away today. We took the kids to putt-putt for miniature golf for like they go back to school in a couple days, so I didn't have the amount of time needed to do the pairing videos or the pairings period. So I should be able to do the Bertae tomorrow, with the stuff coming in Wednesday. I might be able to do the chalcodes on Tuesday. At least that's the goal anyway. I gotta look at her again, because again she didn't eat this last time, which kind of worries me. And the male hentai did not molt yet. Still hasn't gotten to the point where it's dark, just starting to get dark. So maybe we'll do a tea spotlight video tomorrow. And then we'll do the new tea spotlight video in 2 weeks on one of the ones that came in on the setup. So tomorrow I have to get to Hobby Lobby and pick up some more softball cases And a couple more baseball cubes. Probably at least one baseball cube and 3 softball cubes. Alright, well, got a good look at this guy. Brachypelma vagans. They're spectacular spiders, they really are. We're going to get a drink. I've seen more of my spiders drinking with their mouth full. Sometimes they'll drop the cricket, get a drink, and then pick it back up again. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see everybody real soon. Have a great week. Talk to you later.